Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Run. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. As usual, welcome aboard, Michael Rudnin. He says, I'm not home right now, but I'm quick sharing for you right now. Folks, if you're just joining us, please remember the one important thing we need you to do for us is share the program. Why do we need these programs shared? We need these programs shared so that other people can hear the whole story. We know that there's a lot of good mainstream media out there. I'm not going to deny that. There's a lot of people doing good work. In fact, a lot of the stuff that we do is based off of a lot of the reporting good by a whole lot of good people. But they don't have the ability to further interpret because they are journalists. They cannot be opinionated even if they know that one side is really saying crap. It's just recently that they are calling lies lies. Independent media, independent progressive media is a must in these days, especially given that the powers that be, from the inception of the Paul Manifesto and all these guys, they've taught us, or they've taught the Republican and the right wing how to play into the mainstream media's weaknesses. We kind of discussed that in the panel that we had yesterday as well. So these are important concepts. Anyway, let me see who's here with us so far. Michael Rudnin, welcome aboard. Thank you for the share. Thank you for sharing early. Folks, if you're just joining us, please remember to share our program on your wall, on your Twitter, on your Tumblr, on your Twitch, on your everywhere. Thank you so kindly. Rudnin, thank you for doing all that you always do, finding stories for us. Brige MCP starts out. She says, something you and Coffee Party USA posted need this added. People are posting from Fox. Biden is letting in 25,000 people with COVID. The International Organization for Migration will help with logistics and test asylum seekers for COVID-19 before they enter the United States, spokeswoman Liz Lisama said. You know, the right wing is going to lie continuously. And, you know, here's the different, it's so difficult, right? Because they are a stream of lies, one after the other. So you're chasing lies, so often that you're not able to put out what you are actually doing for people, for the people you serve. And what we as a progressive media, as an independent media, have to try to do is to first let it be known that the sources of information from these people are lacking or lying and all of that together. So that and what we also have to do is earn the trust that if we say that's a lie, it's done, it's ended. Because Brige MCP, you're so right about that. I'm going to get that story out there, and I'll make sure it goes up not only on my site but at Coffee Party USA. It would be nice if you drop me in my inbox on the page as well, just to kind of jog the mind. Because I tell you, I have things coming from many different directions, but that is my responsibility, Brige MCP. That is my responsibility to serve. Anything you guys find that you know I need to get out there, that you don't think have enough coverage, that I need to get out there, you let me have it, and you keep pressuring me. Egberto, you got to get this out. You guys do great work. We do great work. Let's continue. Milton Gibson, yes, we have a Neanderthal governor. That treat that fell on him also hit his head. I don't like to go right there completely, Brother Gibson, because, you know, he lost, when that tree hit him, he became paralyzed. But you know what it shows? It does show that even a person who's been paralyzed, a person who has been lucky to be, even as being paralyzed, achieve what he has achieved. he has such little empathy for other people that are paralyzed, to provide services for other people that weren't as lucky as he was to get the services that he got. So while I won't really kind of say that, you are correct in your sentiment, brother. Brige MCP said, let us not insult the Neanderthals. I love that, Brige. I love that. I love that. I love that. Gilson says, calling it what it is. Milton Gibson also says, Neanderthals, troglodytes. I remember that word, you know. And Eric Hayes says, we have local issue bond reform as 99 have died due to evil criminals let back on the streets to wreak havoc. Again, media, where are you getting these things from? Eric, I am hoping that after you've been with us for a while, you can see how you are misinformed by giving you partial information or not very accurate information. I want to postulate this. If you had 20 people that are worth $1 million and they all went to jail because of a crime they committed, or we think they committed, they haven't had their trial yet, but they all have $1 million. All 10 of those people would get out of jail because they can make bond. You're missing the point. What you're saying is poor people who commit crimes, it's bad, are less advantageous, or somehow should have worse treatment than rich people who commit crimes. No, the problem isn't letting people out on bond just for the sake of letting people out on bond. The thing is holding a standard that ensures if a person is likely to commit a crime after leaving jail, they don't leave jail irrespective of how much money they have. And that is the question, Brother Eric Hayes. Again, the reason this stuff looks, the reason so many are able, and this is what sometimes get upsetting, right? The people that seize Harris County and stay in jail, because Harris County is one of the most integrated cities in the country. We are a very integrated county, integrated city. But the people who stay in jail are people that are poor. And as in most major cities, most of the poor people are people of color, Latinos, Vietnamese, black, etc. So if they commit crimes, no matter how little or large, they are kept in jail. Wealthier people, generally more skewed towards white people, when they go to the jails, they get out. It doesn't matter what the crime is, they get out. Now, what we really need is equity based on the crime you commit. But the reason why so many of the right wing are taking up this bond issue is not because, it's because of what those people who are let out on no bond look like. What they forget to tell you is many of the people that aren't even jailed or picked up or brought into court, they get off because it's like, okay, I'm giving you a slap on the wrist, go by. And like I've talked about in my community is a mostly white community. The way police officers operate here is very differently than how they operate in other parts of Houston. A kid hits another person here. If the people on the side can make a deal, no tickets, you guys handle that yourself. Other parts of the community that isn't done. I've seen a kid wreck his father's Mercedes, run from the scene. The father brings him back to the scene, and the cop says, okay, take care of this. I have a friend of mine got hit at a McDonald's from one of these kids out here. And the cop, when my friend called the cops asked my friend to please not bring this into the police because this guy is going to college next year. Look, like I told the people at the panel yesterday, FBI statistics and all these things make no sense because the people that get you into the entry of the criminal justice system defines what the criminal is going to look like. So if I am a black kid doing something, the same thing as a white kid, but the black kid gets the police officer arrests the black kid and not the white kid, the FBI statistics look very different than reality. And that's what I expressed about, when we talk about fake news and all of that, right? I'm like, a lot of news that we get that we don't consider fake news is fake news as well. When we read the FBI statistics in the New York Times, that's fake news. Egberto, but that's what's in the FBI report. It is in the FBI report. But if you live in society and you see who police officers arrest to provide a record to, it doesn't correspond to what actually happens outside. If I get a tap on, if I am walking down the street drunk and the police officer, okay, just get home. Or I call your dad to come and pick you up. But that same treatment isn't afforded to people of color. Of course, the FBI statistic is going to look like the predominance of it would look like this particular culture has this affinity to do these things while this one does not. Folks, it's important if we are going to be honest with ourselves, if we are going to solve all our problems, to be accurate. That's why we have independent media. That's why we just don't look at the statistics for how they are. We look at the reality behind it. I'm sorry to get off on a tangent, Eric Hayes, but I had to based on what you said. Lee Grant, welcome aboard. Para ver, who else is here? Eric Hayes. The Chronicle article, that means nothing. Politics Done Right, I posted to your site and Coffee Party. They fact-checked it and replied to me. Okay, great. Live show. Yes, it's a live show right now. Hi, Coop. I know you were on it last night. Milton, your participation is optional, dude. Heck, Eric Hayes, get it from Crime Stoppers. That's not the point. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter where it comes from. I'm telling you what happens with the police officers and the entry into the criminal justice system. What I'm saying is fact. Bridge MCP, Lee Graham, hi Bridge, Eric. No, don't weasel out of this one, Egberto. You go to the research. Not poor. Go freaking. Again, this isn't new to me. This is new to you, Eric. I know the subject, Mr. Hayes. I know the subject. This is not a new subject. There's nothing new about what's going on. The only thing new is bond reform. I know the subject. I actually petitioned to our district attorney. In fact, I interviewed our district attorney. Thank you. And I definitely don't have it wrong. Absolutely don't have it wrong, sir. E2247, how are you doing? Egberto, thank you for your diary at Daily Coast. AOC is right. Yeah, I wrote that one this morning, and I did a little video for it as well. 99 dead, you tell the victims the misdemeanor treatment is being used for the felony charge. Eric, you don't know what you're talking about, Eric, okay? You don't. There's a lot of Vietnamese in jail in Texas, news to me. Oh, really? There are a lot of things that are news to you, sir. Bridge MCP, Eric, this seems interesting. If it's for offenders who have more than 2 strikes, it seems. Okay. Brian Manor, bonds on felonies are not good. Full bail on violent crime. Again, it's interesting, right? If you commit a violent crime, irrespective of who you are, if there's good evidence that you committed the crime, let's say there are extenuating circumstances, yes, you should go to jail. And you should stay in jail whether you have money or not. Whether you have money or not. Okay. Continuing, let's see. Let's continue here. Bear with me, guys. Para ver. Here we go. Bridge MCP says, Kathleen Bill, is this what you are talking about, Eric? He said the bill would prohibit magistrates from releasing a defendant on a personal recognizance bond, meaning the person doesn't have to post money in order to be released for offenses committed while already out on existing PR bond or on a felony offense when 2 or more felony charges are pending against the defendant. His proposed legislation also sets a minimum bail of $10,000 per offense in cases where the defendant is accused of 3 or more felonies. Deflecting again even on local level because it doesn't fit your narrative. Not at all. That's not it. Again, I think what my narrative is just right. Reform it good for you. Comparing rich kids to killers is so wrong. Comparing rich kids to killers? No, I'm comparing killers to killers. It's not comparing rich kids to killers. It's comparing rich killers to poor killers. There's no difference. A rich killer or a poor killer should have the same results in the criminal justice system. But that is not what occurs right now. at all. And that is why the conversation that I had with our um, what is she called? District Harris County District Attorney. What's her name again? Harris County District Attorney. I forget her name. Let's see if para ver. I can't find it right now. But look it up for me. But anyway, I've spoken to her. Look, this isn't new to me, okay, sir. But Egberto, politics done right, it seems the article states differently. Um, Tell me what you're talking about. Interestingly, how people are getting out to kill. Okay, we'll talk about that after. Let's go ahead and get into the program. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Kim Og, thank you very much. I interviewed Kim Og on bail and all that sort of stuff. In fact, we had a disagreement with Kim Og in that okay, very confused here regarding the article I just read and what Eric is saying and what Egberto is saying. Is it the same? I didn't read the article that he brought out yet, but the reason that I'm talking about the bond issue is that what the right wing is doing with the bond issue is very disingenuous. Right now, as it is, if you are poor and commit a violent crime, you can't get out of jail. Now, if you're poor, commit a minor crime and get out of jail and commit a crime again, a lot of times what happens is the right wing use that as saying, keep these people who are arrested no matter what locked up. I'm not fine crime at all. But what I'm saying, if a rich kid goes ahead and commits a violent crime and gets arrested, they bond out and get out of jail. If they commit a misdemeanor, they bond out and get out of jail. The option for the rich kid is not the same as the option for the poor kid in the criminal justice system. What I'm saying is the criminal justice system should treat everybody the same, irrespective of ability to pay. Because the reason for having bond is that we don't know that you are guilty yet. I mean, if you have the gun, holding a gun, and you have blood on your hand, you should not get out of jail. If you have a knife and blood on your hands, you should not get out of jail. And you may be saying, "Oh, but I did it in self." Again, sorry. Okay. He says, yes, you want to state you are true and know all yes can, or I don't know what you're saying there. Is Kathleen Bills the bond issue? I'll read it later, but let's go ahead and get to the program. And then while I play the first video, I'll go ahead and read the article just to humor myself or to see if it's a different article than what I think it is. Okay, let's go ahead and get busy with the program. Here we go. Let's see, what's the program about? Para ver. Oh, that's the wrong video up there. Is that the right video up there? Let's go ahead and refresh this. Okay, that's correct now. Okay, the title of the show today, folks, is, and I started with a whole lot of stuff. The title of the show is Neanderthal Governor, Democratic Insanity, the Age of Social Murder, and much more. We discuss the Neanderthals that are harming the citizens. Additionally, we examine democratic insanity. Is this the age of social murder? Okay, the one that I think I'm going to start with is the Texas. Let's see which one I'll start with. Greg Abbott's a law in business. Here's what I'm going to do, because this is a friend of mine. A friend of mine wrote a blog this morning that I had to reblog. She's a minister. She's out of Paris, Texas. I love this woman. She writes good. She has her own blog, and this is what she wrote. She blogs at this site here, and I'm going to bring the site up right now because I want you guys to see her blog. Thank you for liking the title. That's not the right blog. That's the wrong blog. I thought I had her blog up here. Let's see. Texas, let's see. Chris Hedges. That's not the one. That's not the one. I better just go to her blog site because I think I blogged it this morning. And I want to give her the full credit for this great thing that she wrote. Here it is. There it is. Here's her site. I want you guys to visit her site. Her site is called is Charlotte Van Coyle. Charlotte Von Coyle. Pondering Intersections of Faith, Politics, and Culture. And she wrote a piece this morning titled, Callous, Look in the Mirror, Governor Abbott. Because what Governor Abbott did is he sent out a tweet that said, the Biden administration is recklessly releasing hundreds of illegal immigrants who have COVID into Texas communities. The Biden administration must immediately end this callous act. The something Texans and Americans to COVID. Okay, I mean, very evil kind of guy. So she says, Governor Abbott, did you misplace your dictionary? I don't think you know what the word callous means. So let me help you. According to Merriam-Webster, it means feeling or showing no sympathy or others, hard-hearted, a callous indifference to suffering. When you use this word to describe President Biden and his administration's policies, you are completely out of line. Callous indifference more aptly describe you and your Texas Republican Party. And she's a Texan. Hard-hearted Republican officials ignored warnings about the unstable infrastructure of the Texas electric grid, failed to rush help to those who were suffering, and then blamed consumers who were stuck with exorbitant electrical bills. Unsympathetic Republican policies reinforce cycles of poverty, restrict access to health care, and weaken our public schools. Texas Republicans have shown no sympathy for our neighbors to the south, migrants desperate to find work and safety for their families. And then just this week, it was you who decided to lift coronavirus protections, demonstrating a gross indifference to the suffering of hundreds of thousands of Texans. And you have the gall to describe President Biden as callous. No, sir. Your fall outrage is a textbook demonstration of the principle of psychological projection, the attribution of one's ideas. I'm coming to the phone in a minute. The projection of one's ideas, feelings, or attitudes to other people or to objects, especially externalization of blame, guilt, or responsibility as a defense against anxiety. Your tweet is a failed attempt at distraction, something that directs one's attention away from someone else. Texans can see how Republicans keep making bad bets and are holding a losing hand, doubling down. Becoming more tenacious, zealous, or resolute in a position is a bald, foolish, and callous play. You must immediately stop this divisive rhetoric. You must work with President Biden and this administration to create collaborative policies that will benefit all Texans. Now is a time for mature, courageous leadership. Step up, Mr. Abbott. Stop doubling down. Sincerely, Reverend Charlotte Vaughn Coyle. Friend of mine, love this woman. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Anyhow, let's go ahead and talk to line number 828. Come on in. How are you doing today?
Hello. This moment of Zen is brought to you by your friend from North Carolina.
Hope.
How are you?
How are you doing, Hope?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to say great show today, and I've been listening all week, and I can tell, even though you're doing some fabulous reporting, I can still tell that you're kind of upset about the governor's decision to open up Texas, and that you're still very concerned about what happened in the ice storm. I can just kind of read between the lines.
It is, you would not imagine. I mean, Hope, let me tell you. One of our listeners, they get mad at me because I've called it legalized murder, right? In other words, you can cause the death of many people and not have to suffer the consequences, and you're doing it for some benefits for yourself. And it hurts me to the core. When I tell you it hurts me to the core, because when you feel impotent, and that's how I feel with respect to the governor of Texas. I feel impotent. And the only thing that I feel that we are able to do is to go out there and beg our fellow Texans, please ignore the governor. And that's all I can do. But I have just one platform. And one thing is we have Lina Hidalgo, who is one of the best county judges we've had in a long time. She's out there urging people to disregard the governor. But you read right through the lines correctly, my dear friend.
Right. I just don't want it to affect your personal health, because I know that you are a caring person, and I want you to just walk through it. And I'm telling you, just like everybody walks through it, just like Kamala Harris gets off the plane and walked through the politics of the other side. And you think she was paying attention to that BS? No, she just did her job. Okay. I got you on the brain. International Women's Day coming up. You know, the Afghanistan parliamentarian who was shot in the arm and then continued to go to the negotiations. Okay. I think that was Fawzia Koofi. I follow a few of them, but they're, badasses who really deal with a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff going on. And when I think about people, who are high up on my list, you're at the top because you've done some great work this year. So I want to make sure that you get on the bike or do whatever and make time for Egberto.
Thank you so kindly for your concern. I really appreciate that. Hope you know I love you. Thank you. Thank you. And
Well,
thank you.
you're doing awesome, 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 passionate reporting. I just hope when you get off the line with us today, you'll know how grateful we are and how we want you to be healthy and happy. And don't let the bad guys get you down.
Thank you, sister. I really appreciate that. Okay?
All right, hon.
Have a good one now.
Bye.
Take care. See why I love you guys? You see why I love you guys, man? You guys are great. You guys are great. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Thank you very much, Hope. I really, really appreciate that. That touch, as we say, me tocaste en el corazón, me tocaste en el corazón. Okay. Thank you so very much. So anyhow, my good friend, Reverend Charlotte Van Coyle wrote that this morning, and when I saw that, I said I got to give it coverage. So I wrote it on my blog, and I blogged it in some other places because this is damn what we needed to say. So thank you very much for that. Anyhow, folks, Bridge, you and I were talking yesterday about them lowering the requirements for the $1,400 check. And at first, I disagreed with them doing that. Then after you made a few comments, I agreed. And then I have to say, after doing complete analysis, I disagreed again. And that's what I'm saying. We have to be able to formulate, take more input, bring input into our minds, and be able to change. I mean, Eric is talking about this bond thing, right? As I play this video that I'm doing, that I did this morning, I'm going to go read Eric's stuff to see if I misunderstood what Eric was talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that thing. At the same time that I play it, I'm going to run and read the article that Eric put out there to see if I jumped the gun on what that particular article was saying, because I had not read that article. So let's go ahead and play the only video that I'm playing today, and I'll go look at that real quickly. It gets harder and harder to understand why some Democrats continue to sabotage themselves. It's hard to see why some supposedly moderate Democrats seem to not understand math, or you know what? Maybe they do. I don't know. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is absolutely right when she warns that it is nonsensical for Democrats to change the eligibility requirements for the $1,400 stipend that is going to be going out to millions of Americans. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was also right that it is shameful that Donald Trump will be able to say, I gave more relief to people than Joe Biden did. And think about that if he decides to run in 2024. It is so interesting that these guys don't think this. It is much less expensive to live in rural America, and wages are generally smaller in rural America, which means a very large percent of rural Americans will in fact get the $1,400, which of course the Republican Congress people who are their leadership, who are their Congress people will say, we got this money for you. The people that are going to be cut by changing the monetary requirements of this bill are going to be those who live in the suburbs and the cities and the urban areas where it is much more expensive to live. And because it is much more expensive to live, they get higher wages. So not because somebody who makes a couple $100,000 in New York is still eligible for $1,400, that somebody in rural America that's making $75,000, somehow there's a disparity there. It is not. The cost of living in rural America is a lot less than the cost of living in suburban and urban America. The voters that vote for Democrats live in urban America, and also they have started to take over suburban America. A lot of people voted for Asaf. A lot of people voted for all these senators promising $1,400 because they knew they were going to get the relief that they wanted. Some people say, well, do they really need it? Yes, they do. But I tell you a little story that one should think of. I'm on my Facebook page, and this guy says, I am donating $1,400 to the food bank. Another one says, I'm giving this family $1,400. You know why? I don't need it. I'm getting it. But I can help. $1,400 for that family that they're going to get is not enough. I am going to do my part. So there are a few people who will get the money that won't necessarily use the money. But most of these kind people will use the money in good ways that it gets back into the economy, helping others, because we see the suffering of others, and $1,400 or $2,000 is not what they need. Other countries are giving people monthly stipends because they understand what this pandemic has done to their society. What's wrong with Democrats who don't act like Democrats? We help people. We help people make it. When Republicans passed the $2.3 trillion bill, they didn't care that the corporations didn't need it. They didn't care that the corporations were not going to hire people, but instead take that money to increase the price of their stocks. They didn't care. Why should moderate Democrats care about a few people getting extra money that they would likely use for positive good? I just heard a senator, somebody running for Senate in North Carolina. I don't remember her name right now. And she said, when I get to the Senate, I am going to work towards changing rules. Why do things the same way over and over again and expect a different result? That is insanity. But let's get a little bit further than that, because it is even deeper. Senator Manchin said, under no circumstances are we going to change the filibuster. In effect, what Manchin is saying is, I am willing to serve these 2 years in the majority, and thereafter for the next 10 years run the risk of continuing minority rule in this country. Because if that bill isn't passed, the new voter bill isn't passed, what is going to happen, folks, is that the gerrymander districts in all the Republican states right now can be done in such a manner that we get a House of Representatives entirely ruled by Republicans under minority rule. Folks, call your senators and urge them to vote the interest of the American people. Okay, I just read the article, and I don't. In that article, I don't see anything that causes that changes the underlying thing that I'm talking about. If I read the article quickly, if I understand the article quickly, and I'm going to go about our video in a little bit. The article said that this guy who had a DUI, a couple of DUIs and so forth, he was released. And apparently he killed his wife, or the girl is, which is horrendous and terrible. If what we have to ask ourselves is, if this is a violent person that they let out, or was this not a violent person? I think the reason he was let out is he hadn't had a conviction, or he hadn't been arrested for a violent act. He was arrested for DUI. And I think any person that did a DUI would be arrested. Nobody has a possibility of knowing that this guy was going to commit murder with a knife. I don't think anybody had known for that. Look, the whole issue here is this. If you don't have a violent criminal and that person is arrested, there are people in the jail in Harris County and throughout this country who are rotting in jail because of how slow our system is, who cannot get out on bail because they don't have the monies to do it. But if they were wealthy, if they were rich, they could get out. That is setting up a bifurcated system where your guilt is relative to your income. You cannot have a system like that, brothers and sisters. You have to be able to have a metric that does not include a finance that the justice system does not treat you based on your financial capabilities, but based on your culpability. I don't think that's I don't think that's unfair. I don't even think that's liberal or progressive or conservative. That is just honesty. That is just moral. If you commit the same crime as a poor person and you can get out of jail because you have income, there is a problem with that justice system. There is a problem with that justice system. The reality is, the reason you have a lot of people fighting about the bail issue is that the bail and bonds network does not want there to be a system that doesn't count on bails because that's where they make their money. It's always about money. I wish more people would understand these underlying issues and not just look at the outside. I am so sorry that lady got killed. She should not have gotten killed. She should not have gotten killed. But it wasn't the bail bond system that got her killed. It was the entire system itself that got her killed. Hard for people to understand these concepts so often, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we do what we do. Okay, let me continue. Now, so my reason as far as the why I don't support limiting the 1400 based on what they're saying is let's, as a progressive, as a Democrat, check this out. It's much more expensive to live out here in the cities, to live out here in the suburbs than it is in rural areas. And it's amazing that the people that Biden and the centrists hurt by allowing the reduction in that bill, that's who actually got hurt. The people who came out and voted for him in the suburbs switched completely. They came out and voted for him. They know that they were going to get some relief. I have friends who didn't need the money and said, I'm giving it to the food bank. I'm giving it to, I have a friend that just went through cancer surgery. I'm giving it to that person because that $1,400 alone for that person is not going to be enough. You know, give people the option. $15 billion it saves. When we had the $2.3 trillion tax cut, not a pew. Okay, but he says, hope you can see it in... I see it, seeing my red eyes. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Outrageous when you are attacked for expressing compassion. Egberto, stay frosty. Thank you, brother. Eric Hayes Harris, Caucasian people generally have 4 to 5% Neanderthal DNA. I think we all do, man. We all have that DNA. Hey, look at that. Vrij immediately responded. You see, Vrij is so smart. Lee Grant, so calling Avad a Neanderthal is partially correct. Love you, Lee Grant. You're crazy, man. Let's see. Bridge says, new stimulus? Yeah. Bridge MCP says, killing me. Ha ha ha. Why do you disagree on stimulus? We just said it. Well, you said this before I played the thing. Okay. Them have no balls. Sorry about the choice of words. But you know your choice of words is right, Bridge. I can't argue your choice of words is correct. Eric, $1,400 is peanuts. Yes, it is, Eric. Are you going to get it, Eric, or you make too much money? Eric and we can barely get that. Bridge MCP, anyone else here at Echo? I had a little mishap there for a little bit, Bridge. Let's see what else. Mike Cisak, been working 2 jobs before taxes go up because of Democrats. Oh, Mike Cisak, welcome back, brother. Love to see you here. But you need to come more often because we still haven't gotten to you. E2247, Egberto Cogent, you got a new name. Thanks for saying that country folk must have a car and insurance is cheaper as is housing for our county mouse. All right, brother. 1,400 is a slap in the face, and most of this 1.9 isn't going where it should. Open the economy and let people work and have dignity. And what happens when they get sick by following the rules of Brother Abbott? It shuts it right back down, or it kills your granny, your relatives, your kids. You know what? It's so funny. A lot of people that I know who were up for opening it up when their relatives got sick and they saw what this disease really did and saw that it wasn't a flu. Some of the ones that weren't ashamed to tell me says, Egberto, man, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. This stuff is really bad. My wife, who used to play tennis with some of these ladies out, one of them went and tell her, I got it. They used to go out, play tennis. They go to the bars, they go to the restaurant because, in Texas, it could hit 25%, 50% fill. And my wife would say, oh, they invited me to go here and there, but I can't go. I won't go because. And you know what happened? Several of them. She said there's one particular group of them. Every single one of them got COVID. She saw one in Costco that told her, oh, it was really, really bad. Almost didn't make it. Folks, this is not something to play with. Nanette Bird Smith. The real sad thing about the stimulus is that it is our money. True? True? True. Let's see what else is here. Bridge MCP, that's different. The woman getting killed, domestic violence. Yeah, most of the increase in violence over the COVID era has been domestic violence. And, that says something, doesn't it? The phone call from Hope a few minutes either was so moral building. Thank you, Hope. Hope gives me hope. Hope is a wonderful woman, and she's written a few blogs for Politics Done Right as well. Let's see. I get your stimulus reason and makes sense now. You see what I'm talking about, Breach? And that's why I said we have to be open. We got to be flexible. When you made your case yesterday, I bought it completely until I went and reanalyzed what AOC had to say. And then I read the fine print and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. We have to be able to say, based on new things that we learn, I got to change my position. And that's what I tell Eric too. If Eric comes out and prove his point to me about this bond thing, I would change, but he hasn't. All right, let's continue. Eric, I have a job and don't need it or want the money. Okay, good. Don't take it. But if you follow, well, you probably make more than the limit to get the money anyway, Eric. But if you don't, you should take the money and then give it to somebody you know is having a hard time. Because really, for the people that are having a hard time, $1,400, like you said, is peanuts. So take the money, take the peanuts, and give it to somebody else like some of my friends have. When some of my friends got their $600, they gave the $600 to somebody who they thought needed it more. They could use it. They could have banked it. They could have put it into some sort of stock. They could have gone to Robinhood. They didn't. Okay, let's continue reading my peeps. Linda E. says, wasn't the reason they caved on the cut off the $1,400 Mansion, and I think there were a couple others. I don't think Mansion was the only two. Let's see. Bridge told Eric, take your check and mail it to me. That is funny, Bridge. You're good. Again, you don't understand stimulus. Anyway, let's continue with this. Folks, wow. I didn't even get into all the pieces of my show today, and we are up to 41 minutes. I got to go ahead and ask you guys to make Politics Done Right whole. Folks, if you are listening on YouTube or if you're listening, period, please click that join button. Please become a supporter of Politics Done Right. Click that join button on YouTube if you are on YouTube right now. If you are not on YouTube, I'm going to give you a link. The YouTube link is politicsdoneright.com/YouTube. politicsdoneright.com/YouTube. You click on that, you can become a part of what Bridge MCP calls the PDR Posse. The PDR Posse, and she's even designed a cup for the PDR Posse that you'll see on your screen right now. The PDR Posse is on your screen right now. Thank you, Bridge, for designing that. And there is Linda E., who purchased it, and also Norman Reynolds. I'm still waiting for pictures from others who purchased it, but they're shy. But it doesn't matter that they're shy. I love them anyway. So please join the PDR Posse. See, Bridge is out there in the chat room saying, hey guys, join the PDR Posse. I gave you the link for that. But look, you see that book on the screen right now? It's worth it. How to talk to your right-wing friends, neighbors, and all that good stuff. If you notice, we have a lot of right-wingers in here as well. I love them just as much as I love my lefties and my anarchists and everybody else. And you know why? We are not going to solve our problems by 50 plus 1. We're going to need Eric. We're going to need Mike Csiek. We're going to need, I'm calling out my conservatives. We're going to need Eric, Mike Csiek. We're going to need, who's the other conservative in here? Come on, conservative, show your head, show your head, show your head. Text 77. We're going to need, what's his name again? Who else is in here that's a conservative? Where are all my conservatives? I think I called out Mike Csiek already. Para ver. Anyhow. But we are going to need them too. So we have to get them working in congruent with us. And we can, and we will, and we will. So that book I wrote this year or late last year, and it's doing pretty well. Not good enough to pay all our bills, but it's doing fairly well. So please go to that link that I just provided to you, the Amazon link to get it. But if you want to get the middleman out of there, you can actually go to our store. And that store is at politicsdoneright.com/store. Hey, Tech77 wants you to buy the book and burn it. No, don't buy the book and burn it. Buy the book, read it, and share it. Buy the book, read it, and share it. I swear to you, it's not only a book on how to talk to folk, it's a book on learning the stuff so that you are able to talk to folk. You know, I have a set of chapters in there. There's a chapter that I really like because it says on not only understanding their frame, informational essays. I have one called informational essays that is loosely based on several of the articles I've written for Daily Kos and Op-Ed News and other places. And there's another chapter that I have called para ver stories, how I actually interact with it. Look, it's 200 and something pages. That's very easy to read. So please go ahead and get it. Either get it at the Amazon link that I just put in there or at the store link that I just put in there. But alternatively, how else can you support us? You can support us by becoming a Patreon. How do you become a patron? Go to politicsandright.com/Patreon. Patreon. Politicsandright.com/Patreon. Patreon is spelled Patreon. Or go to politicsandright.com/PayPal. If you go ahead and click that join button on YouTube right now and that green thing comes up on my screen that says, hey, somebody just joined right now, I'll call you out right now. You can also throw us a super chat on YouTube if you want to. Anyhow, the other subject that I wanted to talk about, let me see which one, because we're not going to get to all of them. But I got to touch on this one here because I love this article here. It was put out by Texas Greg Abbott's Neanderthal thinking may be an attempt to sabotage Biden's COVID success. And I wrote, Greg Abbott's allowing businesses to operate at 100% and removing the mask mandate may be more sinister than one thinks. He may be willing to sacrifice the lives of Texans in an attempt to deny President Biden the success he is having fighting the COVID epidemic. This should surprise no one. Abbott, along with every politician, has had no problem virtually murdering Texans by denying them the Medicaid expansion to the Affordable Care Act. Bridge MCP, muchísimas gracias for that super. Is that a super chat? That's a super chat. Thank you so kindly, Bridge, for bringing up that super chat. See, guys? Bridge MCP threw a super chat our way. Love you, girl. Thank you very much. Anyhow, folks, so I got this article. It came from another friend's website. He is Mark Carlin, editor of BuzzFlash. Check out that website as well, BuzzFlash. And that one, he said the following. There may be several cynical and deadly reasons that Texas Governor Greg Abbott completely abandoned any COVID restrictions in the second most populous state in Texas. Those justifications include his political ambitions to perhaps run for president. In that case, he would want to appeal to the anti-government bent of the GOP, particularly the anti-COVID lockdown fervor of the Trump base. Texas has been a hotbed of COVID denialism among its entirely GOP executive branch. Yeah, Bridge, it says $1. But, hey, I still love you for $1. I love you for everything. Again, whatever folks provide, we love it because it goes right into our system. Anyhow, that includes, let's see, he also faces potential GOP challengers as he seeks a third term in 2022. That includes the state attorney general, Ken Paxton. You know that, when you think about Republicans in this state, here is a Republican that's under indictment in Texas. Bridge, $10. Thank you, my friend. You are so wonderful. Hey, you see, we have great people in this place, man. We got great people. You are supporting what you believe in. You are supporting what you believe in. I'm going to make sure that your picture gets on my... I tell you what, I need you to be a... Bridge, I tell you what. for our supporters, I need some help. I am going to may I put your picture on our website that says you run our PDR posse? I'll ask you offline permission to do that. Anyhow, in Texas we have Paxton. Paxton is under indictment federally and also state in the state. And this guy is still thinking about running for governor. We have our lieutenant governor. Help me out, guys. Who's our lieutenant governor? Governor Greg, not Greg. Greg Abbott is our governor. Lieutenant Patrick, Dan Patrick. And Dan Patrick says we can allow the old people to die because they don't mind. If to save the economy, they don't mind dying. He also wants to be governor of Texas. This is what I'm talking about, guys. And you know what? If we allow them to continue with the voter suppression that they're doing right now, these guys could actually pull it out. Now, look, we're coming close to the end of the show. There are a lot of articles. You guys just kept me going today. I love you guys. You guys just kept me going. Bruce Pollard says, rough times, bad choices cost a lot. Yes, it does, Bruce. Yes, it does, Bruce. Because imagine if we hadn't had this governor, we wouldn't have gone through the tribulations we had with the freeze. If we didn't have this governor, we would not have gone through the tribulations with the way we handled COVID-19. So, Bruce, you hit it on a number. The duck that quacks. How are you, my brother? People often joke now, NJ sucks, but I'd rather be in NJ than Texas any day. Good luck, Texas. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. The duck that quacks. The duck that quacks. I'm going to be coming back here to salute all of you in a minute, all my great people. But I want to say this first. The blog let me put the link for the blog in the feed because there are a lot of the articles that we were supposed to go over that, because I put more interest in what you're giving me live than what I had planned to put out there. If you create a conversation to talk about, you will always take precedence over what I prepare for us to talk about. And that's what I did. But the one good thing about today's show, it was based on a whole lot of articles. And if you go to the link that I just put in there, you'll see that I have the link to all the different articles that I plan to discuss. So it's still apropos. So please go ahead and go to the link that I just put in there for the blog for this show. The process version of this show as well will be placed in there as well as soon as I'm done processing it. So I really appreciate you guys. I really, really do. Bridge MCP, thank you for that super chat. And all you guys who are joining through the to become a part of the posse, those of you who come in through PayPal or Patreon. I don't see any from Patreon or PayPal yet. We'd love to see some of those. And I don't see anybody from the store yet either. But it would be great for you to support. Veronica A. I'd sooner go to Illinois. Welcome aboard, Veronica. Great to see you. Bridge MCP, thank you for all you do, Bridge. Thank you for all you do. Folks, Bridge is a designer of that cup. And we made sure to put her name on that cup. Little thing that says designed by Bridge MCP. Check it out, guys. Bruce Pollard, thank you very much for being here. Bruce is a great supporter of both of our shows, both here on KPF, both here at Politics Done Right online, as well as Politics Done Right on air, KPFT 90.1 FM Houston. He's a supporter of that station. Bruce, honor you, sir, because I tell you what, guys like you allow us to do what we do. If we had not been able to do these things without people who support like you do. Linda E., welcome aboard, and Linda, supporter as well. Thank you for getting that cup, young lady. You know how it goes, girl. And that beautiful picture that we get. Let me put that on the screen. Get you guys a bit more stuff there, guys. There we go. And okay, let's continue here with Nanette Bird Smith. Thank you. Eric Hayes, thank you for being here. E227, thank you for promoting all my Netroots article, my Daily Coast articles. Love you, brother. Let's see. Eric Hayes, thank you for keeping the conversation active. Love it. Bridge MCP said gas is $2.80 now. We got to do something about that. But that's what they were going to do. That's what they're going to do. Let's see. Text 77. Thank you for giving us our trolling. You are our most consistent troll, but we still love you. Let's see who else is here. I have a lot of people to talk to actually, but I've already saluted most of you. Let's see. Let's see. Oh my God, Lou, Roberto, muchísimas gracias, hermano. Tenemos que hablar. Tenemos que hablar. Thank you very much, sir. Lou, 50 coronoros. Gracias, hermano. All right, let's continue here. Nanette Bird Smith, Eric Hayes, Lou. But you know, Lou just gave us a donation, but I don't see Lou in the chat. Lou, make yourself seen in the chat, brother Lewis. I don't see you in the chat, my brother from Panama. Let's see. You know, I want to put the cursor all the way to the top and start from the beginning because my eyes work better that way. Michael Rudnin, welcome aboard again. Bridge MCP. Milton Gibson. Milton, tú hablas español, ¿verdad, Milton? Okay. OG. Hola. ¿Cómo estás, hermano? Who else is here? Nanette Bird Smith. Lee Grant. Lee Grant was a conservative that I forgot to mention. Look, Lee Grant is a great guy. You know, these guys give me hell. They're going to fight as conservatives. I don't mind that. That's good. That is very good. We can talk. We can talk and agree. Eric Hayes is another one of our conservatives in here. Mike Cisak, thank you for being here. Mike is a farmer. He says he's working 2 jobs now, so his farm must be under some trouble right now. You see, I remember my peeps. These are my regular peeps. I just want to say I remember who my peeps are. Michael Cisak is my conservative brother from the Midwest. Okay, let's see who else is here. Let's see who else is here. E224, I saluted you and thanked you for doing those, reposting our things. Brian Miner, welcome aboard. Let's see. Eric, don't ever say I'm deflecting again, brother. You know I listen well. Come on now, don't do that, brother. Linda E, I called you out. I saw some other ones in here. My eyes are failing me. There it is. High Coop 333. It's funny because I was speaking to High Coop 333 when I did the rebroadcast on YouTube last night. Thank you for being there, brother. Let's see who else is here. Who else is here? I'm coming down. Hope called in, so I want to salute Hope. And Hope touched my heart because she understands that she understands what we're going through. And she really pumped some energy into me when she called into the show today. Thank you, Hope. Let's see. Para ver, I'm coming down. If I forget you, just throw your name in there again and I'll catch you at the bottom. 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 Okay, coming down. I'm almost done and we're at 4:01 already. Ouch. Okay. Brian Sams. Welcome to Politics Done Right. CPAC. Curious about Abba did the week after CPAC. It's amazing, isn't it? Right after CPAC, you're right about that. Okay, I'm coming down. I'm almost done, but I'm not going to end the show until I reach the last person. Veronica A, welcome aboard. The Duck That Quacks, welcome aboard. I'm continuing down. Tom C, refused to wear a mask. Insurance company should double the deductible. You know what? Money talks. You're right, sir. Bruce Pollard, de nada. Yes, it means a lot that you do, sir. David Zilagi, welcome to Politics Done Right, sir. Thank you for being here. Who else is here? The Duck That Quacks. That's the last. Duck That Quacks was the last message. Hey, guys, I want to tell you, I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. I want to ask all of you to share these programs even after the show is done, especially the YouTube version. You haven't been sharing the YouTube version. You've been sharing we get thousands on the Facebook version, YouTube version, not so much. The podcasts do very well. That's just the sound, though. Love you guys. You guys, we want to make a difference. Help us make a difference. Share all this stuff. Help us make a difference. Whether you can contribute financially, by purchasing our products, by sharing our products, by doing all these things, it's appreciated to the core. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you know how I end this, baby. I am what? Out. Hey, where is it? I am what? Out. There you go. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies.